If you're over 45 and you wake up every morning with stiff knees, protesting hips, or joint pain that your doctor sums up in one sentence, it's age, it's normal. Here's something you need to hear. What you're feeling isn't inevitable, and what you put on your plate can radically change your body's trajectory for the next 10 years. Stick around until the end of this video, because the fourth and fifth foods I'm going to tell you about are ones that almost no one mentions for a man your age, and they might just be the most powerful. On this channel, we don't sell miracles. We won't promise you anything. What we do here is give you concrete, verified, science-based information, and above all, information adapted to the physiological reality of a man over 45, because your body at 50 isn't the same as it was at 30. And the nutritional advice you find online is, for the most part, written for everyone, and therefore for no one in particular. So let's talk about what osteoarthritis really concerns you. Many men over 45 know this word. Some have already received this diagnosis. Others experience symptoms without yet having a name for it. Here's what you need to know about male osteoarthritis, because it's different from what's usually said. Osteoarthritis is a degenerative disease of the cartilage. Cartilage is the soft, strong tissue that covers the ends of your joints, absorbs shocks, and allows them to glide smoothly without pain. Over time, due to mechanical wear and repeated pressure, and that's where it becomes Interestingly, with a chronic pro-inflammatory diet, this cartilage thins, the bones move closer together, inflammation sets in, and pain appears. Statistically, only 3% of the population suffers from osteoarthritis before the age of 45. But after 65, nearly 8 out of 10 people are affected. Do you see the window? Between 45 and 65 is the pivotal decade. This is when everything is decided, and a study published in Scientific Reports showed that men with higher testosterone levels had a significantly lower risk of developing inflammatory joint diseases. This means that the gradual decline in testosterone that most men experience after 45, affecting up to 40% of them, has a direct impact on the health of your joints. Your doctor will talk to you about the pain. He may prescribe anti-inflammatories, but he will explain this link between your hormones, your diet, and the rate at which your joints deteriorate. That's precisely what we're going to do now. Here it is now. Something I want you to do mentally. Inwardly check the boxes that apply to you. Do your knees hurt after sitting for a long time, or conversely after exertion? Is your back or hips stiff when you wake up in the morning? And does it take 15 to 20 minutes to get going? Do you hear cracking sounds in your joints that you didn't have 10 years ago? Have you had to reduce or give up certain physical activities because of joint pain? Do you recover more slowly after exertion, a workout, or even just a day of physical work? If you checked at least 2 of these boxes, you're not alone. Millions of men your age live with these signs, thinking it's inevitable. But here's the distinction that conventional medicine systematically conflates. What's common isn't what's obligatory. Many 50-year-old men have painful knees. Many experience declining mobility. But current does not mean inevitable, and science is very clear on this today. Diet plays a central role in the progression or slowing of osteoarthritis, not a marginal one. Central. So, what happens biologically in your body after 45? And why do your joints become more vulnerable? There are 3 main mechanisms you need to understand because they explain everything that follows. The first mechanism is chronic inflammation. After 45, and especially in men who have a diet high in refined sugar and fat, few vegetables, and insufficient physical activity, so a silent inflammatory state develops in the body. Not acute inflammation like when you get injured. No, a constant, low-grade, invisible fire that you don't feel directly. But this fire activates enzymes in your joints that actively degrade cartilage. Every extra kilogram, moreover, multiply the pressure exerted on your knees by 3 to 4 with each step. Inflammation and mechanical pressure work together silently against you. The second The mechanism is the decline of articular collagen. Cartilage is primarily composed of type 2 collagen, and from the age of 45, your ability to produce it decreases each year. If, in addition, your diet does not provide the necessary building blocks, amino acids, vitamin C, zinc, reconstruction is impossible. Your cartilage breaks down faster than it repairs itself. The third mechanism is the role of testosterone. Scientific studies show that testosterone has a protective effect on joint tissues. Its gradual decline after age 45 therefore indirectly weakens your joints. This isn't inevitable, but it's a biological reality you can't ignore. Now, here's the good news. These three mechanisms are partially influenced by what you eat, not entirely, but enough to make a real difference to your quality of life. Here are 5 foods I specifically recommend. 5 foods you can incorporate into your diet starting this week without restrictive diets or deprivation, with benefits that accumulate over time. The first food is small, oily fish, sardines, mackerel, enjoy, orang. And I'm going to emphasize size because it's a point that most videos on this subject completely omit. After 45, your body is more sensitive to toxins accumulated in animal fats, methylmercury, dioxin, PCBs. Large oily fish like salmon concentrate these substances in their flesh because they feed on smaller fish for years. Sardines, on the other hand, have a shorter lifespan and eat plankton. Their contaminant content is significantly lower, yet their richness in omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, is just as high. And omega-3s are among the most powerful and scientifically well-documented anti-inflammatories of all dietary nutrients. Several studies and meta-analyses confirm that their regular consumption reduces markers of joint inflammation, improves the lubrication of synovial fluid, and slows cartilage degradation for a man over 45. For men over 45, 2 servings of sardines or other macronutrients per week are one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect their joints. And if you don't like fish, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and rapeseed or walnut oil provide a plant-based form of omega-3 fatty acids that usefully complement your intake. The second food is garlic, and I'm including it for a specific reason that very few sources mention regarding men's joints. Garlic contains a sulfur compound, allicin, which specifically inhibits the action of an enzyme in the body responsible for the destruction of articular cartilage. This isn't just a gimmick, it's a scientifically documented mechanism for directly protecting your joints. Furthermore, garlic is a powerful, natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, and it supports the immune system, whose dysfunction in men over 45 can contribute to excessive inflammatory responses in the joints. The recommended intake is 1 to 2 cloves of raw garlic per day. Raw because cooking, high temperatures destroy some of the active compounds. You can easily incorporate it into a salad dressing, mash it on whole wheat bread with a drizzle of olive oil, or add it to your low-heat stir-fried vegetables. A small daily habit that, over time, silently protects your knees, hips, and back. The third vegetable to eat: kale, spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens. Here's why it's particularly important for a man your age. Broccoli contains a sulfur compound called sulforaphane, which has shown in vitro and in vivo studies an ability to block enzymes that destroy cartilage and reduce joint inflammation. It's the same type of mechanism as garlic, but with different chemistry, hence a complementary effect. In addition, these vegetables are extremely rich in vitamin C, essential for collagen synthesis, and vitamin K, an antioxidant that neutralizes free radicals responsible for the oxidation of your joint tissues. And that for a 45-year-old man who is starting to monitor his blood sugar, weight, and in addition to cardiovascular health, these vegetables also provide fiber, which stabilizes blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, and nourishes a healthy gut microbiota. And a healthy microbiota means less systemic inflammation throughout your body, including in your joints. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week. It's achievable, and the benefits are wide-ranging. The fourth food, and the one many find surprising, is green tea. And more specifically, if you want to reap the maximum benefits, matcha green tea. Here's why it's particularly relevant for a man's joints after age 45. Green tea is one of the most concentrated dietary sources of EGCG, epigallociniol. This polyphenol has exceptionally well documented antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Studies have shown that EGCG can inhibit specific pro-inflammatory cytokines, the signaling molecules that perpetuate chronic joint inflammation. It can also reduce the production of the same cartilage-destroying enzymes, which we discussed with garlic and broccoli. Now, why matcha rather than regular green tea? Because when you brew green tea, you only absorb a fraction of the leaf's active compounds. With matcha, you consume the entire ground leaf. You get 5 to 10 times the concentration of EGCG. You can prepare it as a hot drink with unsweetened almond milk, stir it into goat or sheep yogurt, or add it to porridge in the morning. It's that simple. And for a man over 45 looking to reduce joint inflammation while supporting his cardiovascular health and mental focus, matcha green tea is one of the best choices you can make. And the fifth food is turmeric. But I'm going to go much further than what you usually hear, because for a man your age, there's crucial information that most sources omit. A meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Immunology in 2022, combining 29 clinical trials, confirmed the effectiveness of turmeric, and more specifically curcumin. Its curcumin is the active ingredient used to reduce pain and inflammation in osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Several studies have even shown comparable efficacy to some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, like buprenorphine, but with a much better tolerability profile, notably fewer digestive side effects. What's particularly interesting for men over 45 is its mechanism of action. Curcumin blocks the NF-kappa B factor, often called the conductor of inflammation, by directly reducing the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines that destroy cartilage. And recent studies from 2024 show that the combination of curcumin and omega-3 fatty acids is more effective than curcumin alone in protecting cartilage and restoring joint cell function. Now here's the point that almost no one tells you. Turmeric alone isn't enough. Curcumin has very low bioavailability, meaning your body absorbs very little of it if you consume it in powder form in a dish. For it to really work, you have two options. The first option is to incorporate turmeric always with black pepper. The piperine it contains multiplies the absorption of curcumin by 20. The second option, and the most effective, is to opt for a highly bioavailable curcumin supplement. Liposomal formulas, or those combined with phytosomes, are available in drugstores or pharmacies. Studies show that these formulations are 5 to 6 times more effective than turmeric alone. That said, an important precaution: if you're taking anticoagulants, have liver or gallbladder problems, or are on any other long-term treatment, talk to your doctor before starting a course of treatment. This isn't a minor detail, it's a serious precaution. Now, I want to give you something concrete to finish. It's not enough to know these 5 foods if you continue to feed the factors that destroy your joints at the same time. Here are the 3 major mistakes that most men over 45 make, which negate the benefits of a good joint-healthy diet. The first of the mistake is continuing to eat refined sugars and ultra-processed foods. Excess sugar triggers blood sugar spikes that directly fuel joint inflammation. Refined grains, white bread, processed cookies, and processed foods all keep your body in a low-grade, chronic inflammatory state. And for a 45-year-old man whose cartilage is already naturally thinning, this accelerates a process he wants to slow down. The second mistake is remaining sedentary for fear of pain. I understand the intuition. When it hurts, you want to stop moving. But science is clear. Immobility deprives cartilage of its nutrients. Cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. It's nourished by synovial fluid, which only circulates when you move. Gentle, regular activities, daily walking, swimming, cycling, light strength training, reduce pressure on your joints, lubricate the cartilage, and slow its degradation. Orthopedic surgeons are now unanimous on this point. 1. Strengthening the muscles around the knee, especially the quadriceps, directly reduces pressure on the cartilage. Move smart, move regularly. The third mistake is neglecting sleep. And I'm going to emphasize this because it's rarely mentioned in videos about joints. It's during deep sleep that your body produces growth hormone and regenerates its tissues, including cartilage. Disrupted sleep worsens pain sensitivity, slows tissue repair processes, and amplifies inflammatory responses. For a man over 45, getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's a crucial joint health decision. Here are 5 foods: sardines and other small oily fish, garlic, dark green vegetables, matcha green tea, and highly bioavailable turmeric. 3 mistakes to avoid: refined sugar, a sedentary lifestyle, poor sleep, and a clear understanding of what happens in the body of a man over 45 when his joints start sending him signals. But it's not magic. It's not a restrictive diet. These are precise dietary adjustments based on recent studies, accessible and particularly suited to the biological realities of your age. Before I go, I have a question for you, and I sincerely invite you to answer it in the comments because your responses directly shape the future videos on this channel. Which of these joint pains affects you most on a daily basis? Knees, hips, back, or fingers? And of these 5 foods, which one surprised you the most? I read all the comments. If this video has given you something concrete, subscribe to the channel. Every week, content on male vitality after 45. No exaggeration, no miracle products, just what actually works for a man your age. Also, share this video with a man in your life who is suffering in silence. It's a simple gesture that can truly make a difference for him. Take care of yourself. Your body has the resources to slow this decline.